Alright, welcome to Old Dude Cooks Episode 1, Smoked Queso. First gonna need some American cheese, about 1.25 pounds, Jimmy Dean all-natural sausage, heavy whipping cream, half pint, some Pico de Gallo, that's a 14-ounce package, that's the standard 8-ounce cream cheese. Gonna need about 3/4 cup of shredded cheese, mushrooms, 1 red bell pepper, about 7 Anaheim peppers, some chicken stock. First thing we're going to do is get the Anaheim peppers into the broiler in the oven. I'm going to put it on broil. We don't really want to cook these, we just want to broil them, so I don't even turn on the oven until I'm going to put it in, because I want the broiler to be on the whole time. If the heat gets too high, at least on my oven, it will turn off the broiler. So I'll put those in to get started, and they go about 10 or 15 minutes on each side. I'll turn them over here in a bit. Now we start chopping up the bell pepper. This queso is made with several kind of big parts that go together. There's the sausage and bell pepper section. There's a cream of mushroom type of a part of it. There's the cheeses, and then there's those Anaheim peppers. And once we assemble all those, that's what's going to go out onto the smoker. Here's the sausage. A lot of hand washing has to be done before and after touching the food and stuff, so I know you're probably seeing that there. This sausage I had just gotten home from the store, and it was kind of almost frozen, so usually I start the sausage to kind of heat up a little bit. You want to use a flat kind of a utensil like that to really break it up. I usually start the sausage to get it going a little bit before I add the bell pepper. Having the bell pepper mixed in with the sausage while you're cooking it does make it take a while to really get fully browned. If you didn't add the bell pepper, it would brown a lot quicker. And we're going to actually add about a half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, give or take a little bit. This is the only place that salt and pepper is added to this entire queso. But that'll go ahead and keep browning and sauteing. The juice that's coming out of the bell peppers kind of keeps the sausage from really getting real browned. But just cook that down a little bit. Probably check the oven here in a second for the Anaheim peppers. Like I said, sometimes I'll have to leave the oven door open a little bit just to make sure that those elements on the top stay on. I get a nice char on that skin so that skin comes off. Make sure those bell peppers get nice and soft. For the mushrooms added to this really give it a nice umami flavor. Bring that to the flavor profile. I don't have one of those choppers, so I usually just chop these up by hand. Do all the chopping by hand, and these will also add a texture to the overall queso, similar to what the sausage will add. There's another type of a thickening item in the queso, and it's really nice. They end up getting pretty small, and when you saute them, and they become part of the cream of mushroom element. Takes a little bit of time, but I like to get them small. These are the peppers out of the oven. We'll let them rest for a moment. One thing I forgot to mention, we need a half a stick of butter to start the cream of mushroom. So in a saucepan, we'll get that melting. Add about a half a teaspoon of garlic powder to this melted butter here in a second. And then we're ready for the mushrooms. And that you'll see when we add the mushrooms, it gets kind of thick. But anytime you saute mushrooms, that moisture that's in the mushrooms comes out, and it'll get a lot more liquidy here in a moment after they start to really saute. This recipe, it makes a lot of queso. It's a fantastic queso, great for parties. It does make quite a bit, so it does seem like a lot of little efforts here and there, a little work, but it's worth it. It makes a lot. When I make it at the house, we usually have it for a couple days, it seems. You can see how it's kind of thick there, but as soon as that starts to really saute, it's going to get a little bit more liquid there. We'll add our half pint of cream, heavy cream. And then we're going to end up adding about a third of a cup of chicken stock. If you don't have chicken stock, or you don't want to open up a new chicken stock, just use a third of a cup, or you don't have anything else you're making with chicken stock, you could add a little bit of water. That's fine. It's just the chicken stock brings a little bit more flavor. You'll see at the end that this queso is going to be somewhat thick, and we'll need to add a little water anyway. That's why this cream of mushroom that I'm making, it's sort of a homemade cream of mushroom. Very simple. There's no thickening agent in it because you don't need it. We don't need to thicken this. In fact, this is the liquid that's really needed to help the queso to not just be a solid block of cheese. And we want this to simmer for a bit. I think I was washing my hands probably for the 15th time, and this got away a little bit, but it's fine. We do want it to simmer for a little bit. For the Anaheim peppers, this is probably one of the kind of difficult parts. We want to get the skins off. We want to get the seeds out, and what really all we want is the meaty part of the pepper. And depending on the batch of peppers you get, sometimes they can be pretty hot, and it might be a good idea to wear some gloves, some food-safe gloves. That's what we're doing in this shot here. My wife is cleaning the peppers for me while I'm working on other things. And sometimes the skins just come straight off really easy. Sometimes it takes a little bit more effort. If you know of an easier way or a better way to do this, put some comments down below and let us know if you've got an easier way of getting the skins off of these peppers, getting them clean. Like I said, we just want the meaty part of it. It's about 6 or 7 Anaheim peppers. This is very similar to the Torchy's queso, because they do fresh Anaheim peppers. It makes a big difference when they're done like this, rather than from a can. Then we chop them up pretty fine. Now it's time to assemble everything. Put Put the Anaheim peppers in. Most of the 14-ounce Pico de Gallo. For some reason, not all of it. It's just too much to put everything. Cream cheese has been sitting out for a while. No need to cut it up or break it up. Just plop it in there. And like I said, lots of hand washing. The American cheese must be Boar's Head yellow American cheese. And when I ask for it to be sliced, I get the size 15. So just the right size to kind of break apart and put in there. And there's no real specific place everything needs to be. Just we're kind of throwing it all together. It's all going to come together in the end. Here's our sausage and bell pepper that we made a bit ago. That gets thrown in there. Then we're going to put in the cream of mushroom that we made. Then we want about 3/4 cup of a Mexican blend shredded cheese. You could use cheddar cheese if you want, or any other type. This is an organic Mexican blend that they have at Whole Foods. It's about 3/4 of a cup. And then cumin. It's about a teaspoon of organic cumin that I'm going to put in. Good, maybe a heavy teaspoon. At this point, it's ready to go out on the Camp Chef and put it on the Woodwind Wi-Fi. Got the temperature set at around 250, and just put it on and check it about every 30 minutes or so. Come back and I'll start stirring it. You'll see that it starts to melt, starts to kind of break down. Eventually it'll get stirred together. I think on this particular day it was about 49 degrees, 45 to 49 degrees outside, so it was a little cool. I had to bump up the temperature to around 275, ultimately up to around 300, really just to get it all to go. And you're usually going to smoke it out here for about 2 to 4 hours. Just give it enough time. I don't think I recorded every single time I checked it, so that's why you see it looking more like queso each time. And then once it was done out there, I brought it in, I put it in a crock pot, and you can see it's very thick. Don't be afraid at all to add water to this. Probably added about half a cup or more of water, depending on if you're gonna have a party or something like that, it'll start to dry out. But thanks for watching. See you on the next one.